Okay, now let's look at another tool called Hashcat. There's also a version called OCL Hashcat, but that's going to be based on using GPUs, your graphics cards, so your hardcore gaming machines would be appropriate for this. Our virtual machine is not remotely appropriate for this. It wouldn't do us any good, so we can just use the regular version of Hashcat. But if you're interested in getting into password cracking, I would encourage you to build a password cracking box or get one online through one of the cloud services. We're going to use regular Hashcat. Oh, that's nice. This copy of Hashcat will expire. So what we can do is Hashcat -- help, because we need to actually tell it the mode. So we're not going to be able to just have it guess. So we want to grab one of these mode numbers. So we want, say, int hashes. So intlm, that's 1,000. Let's try that one on our Windows 7. So we got Lisa's password is football, but we don't know. Honestly, I don't know what my password is. And James and Martin also have passwords. Maybe we can get some of them. So we want the mode is 1,000. And Hashcat also has some built-in word lists. So if we go to user share Hashcat, we have some. Well, I said it had word lists. Maybe it doesn't. It does have rules, so we'll see those. We can look at one of these, but we go to user share word lists. There's some more in Kali that we can use. No, I guess there's not one built in with Hashcat. I seem to think that there was, but I guess not. There's this rocku.txt.gz, so we are going to have to use gunzip to open it. This is a good one. It may take a while because it's pretty big. It's a word list. It's actually one of the ones I use at work. It's not the only one, but it's pretty big. So just unzip that with gunzip. So it'll just be rocku.txt. I wouldn't encourage you to open it because it'll probably hang your VM because it's so big. Like Nano trying to open it, it'll just freak out. Alright, so Hashcat, not hash dump. Hashcat -m for mode. Our mode is going to be, we said 1,000, and our input file is going to be desktop Windows 7 hashes.txt -o for the output. Let's just call it Win 7 cracked.txt, and then we need the word list. So that's user share word lists rocku.txt. So this is one of the things that annoys me about Hashcat. I like Hashcat. Hashcat seems to be the one that people are moving to, though John the Ripper has gone back into development. So it's kind of hard to tell which one's better, but I don't like the fact that it's complaining it can't load the hashes. Not only do I have to know the mode, which isn't so hard here, but if we tried our Linux ones, I don't know what those are. We'd have to find out. It actually won't let us just load what comes out of a typical password hash dumper. So what we actually have to do is, if we look at Windows 7 hashes.txt, let's make a copy first. I don't know why I keep doing that. So what we want to do is just have the LM hash. So we even have to get rid of the username. So that can be a little bit annoying, I think, that all you get is the hash and then the plain text, and then it's up to you to write some sort of script to get them back to the usernames if you want them. So we could have also used like cut on this. I mean, it's all colons, so this wouldn't have been too hard. to use cut rather than doing it this long way. Certainly if you have a longer list, that's what you'd want to do. Alright, so now that we've done that, let's try this again. So it recovered 4 out of the 6. So that was pretty fast. So what did we put the output file as? 17crack.txt. Password, football. Now it's saying it was password. Okay. So it says the 3-1. Right, this is administrator's blank. So this is saying that my password was password like it was supposed to be. I'm not entirely sure why John wasn't picking it up. It has to be something about the pot file. John has the pot file where it stores the stuff it's already found. I think doing that -- show should have shown it, but once it's cracked the password hash, it won't do it again unless you delete the pot file. I'm sure there's some other way to do it, but all it really has served to do in my life is manage to make my classes screw up because I use the same VM. So that has to be why. So we got, again, it's kind of annoying to have to do this. So it looks like we do have a password for James. Looks like it's that password 123. It's a pretty common thing to do when you're dealing with domains that have a group policy. So it's just by default they require a certain complexity. So uppercase password 1 or password 123. We already knew that Lisa was football, and it's Georgia password, but we still don't have Martin. So let's see if we can do any better. So what we can do is actually use those rules. So user share hashcat rules. We have some built-in rule files. So this is going to be where it's mangles the password. So it's going to run through the word list and then try different things on it in addition to just the normal. If it had, say, password all in lowercase, it might try it all uppercase. It might uppercase each letter one by one. It might put a 1 on the end, a 2 on the end. It might put exclamation at the end. So all different stuff. I like best 64 rule. The dead one is one I usually use. Password pro. Some of the ones in here, like LeetSpeak. I mean, depending on who you're dealing with, if you've got IT people, LeetSpeak can be a good one. I mean, anything in here would be worth trying out, and certainly you can get additional rules as well. Again, there's a lot of password attacks that are password research, people who spend a lot of time putting together word lists and rule sets to try and crack these as fast as possible. So let's try that. Let's go up and try this again, and I just want -R, and I want user share hashcat rules best 64 rule. So this will take a little bit longer. We can hit enter to see how we're doing. Back to 4 of 6. This will take a little bit longer because it has to process the rules, so it's going to run through each password that's in the rocku.txt multiple times based on what the rules come up with. So we will hopefully maybe get Martin's password. I don't know what it is, honestly. And we also have those Linux passwords. Let's see if I can get a terminal here. That one's working. So this would be one of the reasons I would definitely use John, at least to start, is the Linux hashes.txt, because I'm not sure what they are, and it'll tell me. So it says it found MD5 as well as SHA-512 crypt. So it has one MD5, and then I imagine the rest are the SHA-512. So I imagine the one at the front is the MD5. So that's the one I made when I installed the operating system. So it kind of makes sense that the rest would be in a different format, though it doesn't really make sense. But I could see how that would happen. The rest would be in that SHA-512. Well, let's see. Let's overwork my poor little CPU here and do John Linux hashes.txt format equals SHA-512 crypt -- word list equals user share word lists docu.txt. So we know George's password is password, so that should be pretty easy. Hopefully we'll get something out here. Go to one of these guys. Still at 4 of 6 here. Well, you can certainly let these run, and I encourage you to try different passwords, like try some stuff that's not based on a dictionary word, some stuff that is, put like password with an A as an @ sign, letters and numbers together, your uppercases and lower cases, symbols at the beginning or the end, and see, what you're able to bring out. Typically when I do password attacks, I get a lot of simple dictionary word with like uppercase first letter or numbers at the end or symbols at the end, something like that. I mean, I get a lot of that. It's really hard to stop something like that. Come on, give me another password. The last thing, well, second to last things, I want to show you one more thing that's kind of silly, is that sometimes you may not even have to crack the password. Remember, we have those FileZilla ones, for example. So it's CD to desktop, Nano, FileZilla, XML. Like here's one for new user. It's an MD5. We could Google and find out. That's how FileZilla stores its passwords. So I can actually just stick this into Google. In addition to building your own password cracking rig with GPUs, there are online services that will do password cracking. But I encourage you to, if you're into building hardware, to take that old gaming rig and turn it into password cracker. It'd be fun. Of course, it doesn't want to go to Google on here. I'm not entirely sure why. So I just stick that hash into Google and it actually comes out with the correct password. So like right here, I don't even have to click on it. It says the plain text is WAMP. So that's the default for FileZilla. It's username, new user, and password WAMP. It didn't tell me it installed that I needed to change that, so it's just sitting there. So again, sometimes you may not even have to crack it. Still at 4 of 6. Angela's password is QWERTY. What a terrible password. So we did get one of the Linux passwords that hashes out into plain text. Seems like Hashcat, even the regular Hashcat, seems to be going a little bit faster, though this SHA-512 crypt may be slower to hash, you never know. So another thing you can do once you're done with your password cracking, you can use this tool called Pipple. This will actually allow you to get some statistics off your passwords. Let's do another one. James's password is green. So our Windows cracked. What did I call them? Win7 cracked. I just added them back in again because I wrote them to the same file. If I do a pipple on win7 cracked.txt, what this is going to do is give me some statistics. There's really not much in this one since there's not many, but usually when I do these, I get lots of stuff like it has the months and days, like the amount of like only lowercase alpha, only uppercase, only alpha, only numeric, 1 to 6 characters, 1 to 8. So you get really good password statistics and it just automates it so you don't have to do it yourself. So I really like that as well. That can, give your clients some ideas about what their statistics are on the passwords. So that is a little bit of password cracking. It is a pretty big field. There's a lot of people who spend a lot of time with the password cracking, it being, the main way we authenticate. It's certainly worthwhile to be good at password cracking. So, it really comes down to how good your word list is, how good your rule sets are, and of course, how poor the password policies are at your organization that you're doing the cracking against. Because if they're using really, really strong passwords, it's going to be harder. If they're using really, really weak passwords, it's going to be simple. And also, of course, the algorithm used, like our LM hash, it doesn't matter how strong the password is, we'll still be able to crack it.